I'm sure plenty of you have seen gaming chairs before, and I think a lot of people, or I know a lot of people, think they're just over the top and ridiculous just because they're over gamer-ish aesthetics and racing style, extreme aggressive styling. That's a way to put it. Versus, having just an office chair that is plain and minimalistic and just looks classic, elegant. I don't know. Well, let's put the aesthetics aside for right now and just look at this chair as a chair. Today we're looking at the Raidmax Drakon. Yeah. So we're looking at this chair today, and before we get any further into the review, I just want to talk about gaming chairs and chairs in general, office chairs, because I see a lot of people complain that they spend like $250 on a chair and they complain about the assembly process and the quality of the chair. Do not expect superb quality from a $250 chair. It's not going to happen. In a very, very, very rare case is it going to happen. Chairs are very expensive. If you're looking for high-end office chairs, you're going to be spending like $500 to $1,000 minimum, okay? If you're looking for mid-tier, you're going to be looking at somewhere from like $350 to $500. Entry level is going to be like $120 to $250, and then budget's going to be $120 and below. So do not expect, because you shelled out more than $100 for a chair, for it to be amazing. It usually doesn't work like that. Chairs are very expensive. I spent a long time researching different types of chairs, everything from lazy boys to mesh chairs to gaming chairs to Herman Miller chairs. There's a lot of different office chairs out there, but the point to be made is that it's expensive. Okay, and I'm not saying that for the sake of this review and that this chair is bad, but you need to understand the perspective that you have to look at office chairs in general. If you want to make a serious investment into something that you're sitting in all day that is a factor into your well-being and health, you have to take that seriously, and you can't expect that these chairs are just made for the sake of satisfying your wallet at a very budget-friendly price while offering superb quality, because it doesn't happen. It doesn't work like that most of the time. I mean, there's probably exceptions, I don't know, but I'm just saying. So I'm just saying that just to get that out in front of the review. So let's get on to the review, because this is actually a pretty good chair in my opinion. All right, let's get into this review. Hey, what's up guys, it's JD from JDTechGear, and welcome back to the channel where we discuss tech reviews, PC passion, unboxings, and setup design. So if you're into that sort of thing, consider subscribing and checking out the rest of the channel. So, the Raidmax Drakon, I guess that's dragon in some sort of sense, comes in at $210 on Amazon. I'm not going to hide the price from you, that's what it is. First, I'm going to go through the packaging and assembly experience. The packaging was really good. I don't expect anything fancy, but everything was coated in foam and protected. Nothing was scratched or torn. Mostly everything was individually wrapped and protected from the other components of the chair. It was also packaged in such a way that the metal pieces of the chair were somewhat isolated from the leather, so that was well thought out. As for assembly, it was a bit difficult. First off, there was no included instructions. I had to go online and find the instructions on their website, which was not very well labeled in my opinion. Fortunately though, there's also an assembly guide on YouTube that was pretty easy to follow that Raidmax had set up, so I used that method instead. There were a couple parts of the assembly process that were tricky. But everything came together well and felt solid. All the hardware was individually packaged and labeled, but it would have helped a lot more if there was included instructions. But the chair came together nicely and felt structurally sound, so I have no complaints there. Now let's move on into the material quality of the chair. The bolts holding the chair are solid, along with the included Allen wrenches. The bolts don't strip or contort or snap under excessive force, so from what I can tell you, the hardware has pretty good integrity. The leather used on the chair is definitely a faux leather, but it's soft and comfortable, and much to my surprise, does not have a bunch of creases in it. Creases are usually found on cheaper chairs, but the leather fits to the shape of the chair pretty well. The only part that really has creases is where my arms rest on top of the armrest and where I sit, which is to be expected. Doesn't matter the quality of the leather, faux or not, it will crease over time. The base of the chair is solid plastic, but more of a resin type of plastic. It's pretty hardcore. The gas lever works as expected, as well as the rocking of the chair, but over time it does start to creak. I don't mind it simply because it's hard to have a chair for a while that you use often without it starting to creak, so that is more of a neutral feeling for me. The stitching is mostly pretty good. I've been using this chair since August, and there's a little fraying around the armrest, but that's about it. The stitching is standard. There's no double stitching or anything like that, but there's very little broken thread on the chair. For comfort and ergonomics, the chair is actually pretty decent. Ergonomics are not universal. It depends on your body type. For me, I'm 6'2", so this chair is the perfect height for me. It supports my head, the bolsters support my shoulders, and the base is long enough for my legs when you sit normally in the chair. It's recommended that you want about 4 fingers of depth behind your knee from the front of the base of the chair. That is approximately what I have here. The sides of the base support my legs and are comfortable. I don't feel any part of the frame digging into my thighs or anywhere else on my body. The lower lumbar support pillow is comfortable and suits my back pretty well. It has the right level of firmness to provide support without being too stiff. With that being said though, if the chair is in the complete upright position, the lumbar pillow slowly makes its way down to the base of the chair. The headrest pillow is pretty comfortable too, but having it fixed to the post in the headrest makes it more of a neck pillow rather than a headrest. That can be changed though if you decide to wrap the pillow around the entire headrest instead. The only ergonomics I don't like is the armrests. They're way too high at almost every setting and they're non-adjustable. I believe this chair would benefit greatly from adjustable armrests. Keep the padding and everything, but just make them adjustable. Also, there's a pull-out leg rest which is very comfortable, but it's too short to use when the chair is in the upright position. The leg rest sits underneath my mid-calves, but like I said earlier, this will depend on your own body type. When the chair is reclined though, I take full advantage of the leg rest and it seats properly underneath my lower calves. The base cushion is one of the more important parts of the chair. It's pretty soft, it's very comfortable, but soft cushion gets flattened out faster, usually. So the padding on the bottom becomes a little less perky and more molded to my legs and bottom. It's still comfortable, it's just worth pointing out. You can sit in the chair for about an hour before it starts becoming uncomfortable, but that really goes for any chair. You're supposed to reposition yourself every 10 minutes or so, and you should be standing about 15 to 30 minutes for every hour spent. Getting back to the point, with my height, the chair feels like it hugs you and it's very comfortable. Good for people with broad shoulders and body style, and also for those who are around 6 feet or so. I find this chair a lot more comfortable than my A miniature chair, which is about $170. So for $40 more, I think this chair is worth the extra money in comparison. Overall, this is a good chair for the money. Don't expect stellar quality for $210 like I mentioned earlier in the video. The chair is comfortable, built well, and has pretty good ergonomics for the body types of people around my height and for people with a larger frame. The chair is wide and tall and comfortable. The only drawbacks to the chair is that there's no adjustable armrest, which may be a deal breaker for some. The cushion is a little too soft on the base and it loses its perkiness. There's no included assembly instructions and you have to watch the assembly video. And the chair is not spring loaded, so you have to push and pull the armrest to adjust the angle. Also, you have to retighten the armrests every once in a while because they become a bit wobbly. So just keep the wrench handy. Otherwise, I find this chair comfy and suits my frame well. And that's why I like this style of gaming chairs. Not really the looks, just the ergonomics mostly. I hope you all enjoyed the review though, and I hope you found it helpful. If you're new here, consider subscribing and checking out the rest of the channel for more videos like this one. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.